The bright studio lights flooded the stage, turning everything into a dazzling glow. The cameras were focused on the center, where the evening's guest was seated. The audience held their breath in anticipation. Her appearance was always an event. It didn't matter what the topic was, a new film, her personal life, or the latest scandal. The whole world wanted to know everything about her. Marilyn Monroe stepped onto the stage with that natural grace she carried effortlessly. Her blonde curls were perfectly styled, her dress flowing, elegant, accentuating her figure. She sat in the chair opposite the host, crossing her legs, smiling in that signature way that made people lose their minds. But tonight, something was different. The host noticed it immediately. A small silver cross on her neck. That was unexpected. "Marilyn, I must say, you look absolutely stunning tonight," he began, but there was a subtle undertone in his voice. "But this cross, is it something new? I don't recall seeing you wear anything like it before." She lightly touched the pendant with her fingertips, as if ensuring it was still there, and tilted her head slightly. "Yes, it's fairly new, but it has become an important part of me." The host gave a small, knowing smile, clasping his hands together. "Interesting. You know, it's quite unexpected. Hollywood has always seen you as the ultimate symbol of beauty, femininity, and desire. Faith and religion are something entirely different. They demand humility, while you are the embodiment of freedom." A few people in the audience chuckled softly. They could sense that something interesting was about to unfold. Marilyn slightly tilted her head, a playful sparkle in her eyes. "Who says faith and freedom can't coexist?" The host raised his eyebrows. "Well, isn't that a bit contradictory to your image? You've always been a symbol of independence. Your films, your roles, even your life itself, it's all about passion, pleasure, and breaking the rules. Religion, it's about restrictions." She leaned back slightly, crossing her arms over her lap, and looked at him with a steady, thoughtful gaze. "You speak of religion as if it's only about strict rules and limitations. But for me, faith isn't something external. It's something inside. It's not a cage. It's a light that helps guide you forward, even when everything seems meaningless." The room grew quieter. The host tilted his head slightly. He had expected her to flirt, to dodge, to turn the conversation into a joke. But her voice was firm, and there was a seriousness in her eyes. "But no one has ever associated you with this before. What changed?" She paused for a moment, as if gathering her thoughts, then softly said, "A lot has changed." He leaned forward. "Can you share?" She smiled, but this time her smile was almost sad. "Do you know what it's like to have millions of people looking at you, yet no one really sees you? To be an image, an ideal, but not a person? Hollywood gives a lot, but it can also take away. Sometimes you find yourself in a room full of people, yet you feel completely alone." The audience was silent. "So, faith helps you cope with that loneliness?" "Yes. It reminds me that I'm not alone, that there's something greater than all of this, greater than fame, money, or movie roles, that there's meaning that isn't dependent on what the newspapers will write about me tomorrow." The host interlocked his fingers. "But still, Hollywood and religion rarely go hand in hand. There are too many temptations, too many sins. How can you be part of this world and still remain faithful?" She thought for a moment, slowly running her fingers over the chain. "But isn't faith meant for everyone? Not just for saints, but for all who seek meaning? Hollywood isn't any better or worse than anywhere else. Temptations are everywhere. Faith helps you not lose yourself, no matter where you are." He squinted slightly. "But you weren't always religious, were you? What was the turning point?" She froze for a second, then looked directly into his eyes. "When I lost my child." The audience gasped. She continued, "That was when I felt such emptiness that it seemed like I would never escape it. Neither fame, nor attention, nor money. Nothing could fill that pain. And that was the first time I truly prayed. Not because I was supposed to, not because someone told me it was the right thing to do, but because I had nowhere else to turn." The audience sat in complete silence. For the first time that evening, the host looked slightly uncomfortable. "Have you ever talked about this before?" "No. But maybe someone needs to hear it. Maybe someone else feels alone. Maybe this will help." She touched the cross again. We all look for something to hold on to when the ground is slipping from under our feet. Some find it in people. Some find it in their careers. I found it in faith. The applause was long and sincere. The host slowly nodded. He realized that he had tried to put her in an uncomfortable position, but instead, she had shown him something much deeper. That night, the audience didn't just see a great actress or a Hollywood icon. They saw a person, and the small silver cross on her neck no longer looked like just an accessory.